Yep.
You're in the playoffs. Do you have expectations for the playoffs, or do you just set a goal for the next race and say, this is what we got to do to keep moving?
No, we just keep doing what we're doing, and yeah, I feel like we are getting better every week. And
something unexpected just rocked the NASCAR world, and this time, it wasn't a last lap pass or a pit road fight. It was a rookie, a road course specialist from halfway around the world, showing up and rewriting what's possible in a single season. Shane Van Gisbergen, better known as SVG, entered the Cup Series with modest expectations, but within months, he'd flipped the script, earned 4 wins, and locked himself into the playoffs. Now, he's in the fight of his life. On paper, SVG's story is legendary. A 3-time Supercars champion from New Zealand, he came into NASCAR as an outsider, a long shot. Most fans thought it would take him at least a full season to get comfortable. But SVG didn't just get comfortable, he dominated. From Chicago to Watkins Glen, Sonoma to Mexico City, his road course performances weren't just good, they were flawless. He became the winningest rookie in NASCAR history. And just like that, he was in the playoffs. But the playoffs are a different beast entirely. The regular season is where you earn headlines. The playoffs are where you earn respect. And for all of SVG's success on twisty technical tracks, the postseason starts on the ovals, Darlington, Gateway, and Bristol. These are the stomping grounds of legends. They're fast, brutal, and unforgiving. And for SVG, they could be the end of the road. Here's the truth. Oval racing isn't SVG's strong suit. He's shown promise, running well at times and notching 5 top 20 finishes. At the Coca-Cola 600, he held his own and finished 14th, which is no small feat. But he hasn't cracked the top 10 on an oval yet. That's the gap. That's the doubt hanging over him. And that's why some of NASCAR's biggest names are questioning his chances to survive this first playoff round. Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of the most respected voices in the sport, didn't sugarcoat his thoughts. On his podcast, he said, "I do not believe that SVG, man, it's going to be tight. He's got 16 points to sort of cushion the blow." Not because he dislikes him, not because he's doubting the talent, but because this stretch of races is brutal. SVG has never faced anything like it, and in Dale's eyes, it's just too much, too fast. Denny Hamlin, a current title contender and co-owner of 23XI Racing, echoed the same doubts. He respects what SVG has done, but when it comes to the playoffs, experience matters. Momentum isn't enough. You need consistency, precision, and the ability to perform under the harshest spotlight. For many rookies, that pressure becomes a wall they can't break through. But here's what sets SVG apart. He doesn't run from pressure. He welcomes it. When asked about the criticism, SVG didn't lash out. He didn't make excuses. Instead, he smiled and leaned into the underdog role. He said there's no pressure, that he's here to learn, to grow, and to push himself. That mindset, that calm, calculated approach is what's carried him through every challenge this year. And now, it's what he's bringing into the playoffs. Darlington, the first race in the round of 16, could be his best shot. Nicknamed the Lady in Black, Darlington is a track that rewards perfection and punishes hesitation. It's narrow, it's fast, and it demands razor-sharp focus. SVG has said it's his favorite oval so far. He likes how close the cars get to the wall. He thrives on that edge of disaster kind of racing. If he's going to break through on an oval, Darlington is the place to do it. But after that, the road gets bumpy. Gateway is a complete unknown. SVG has never raced there. And while it's a relatively tame track on paper, the lack of experience could be costly. Then comes Bristol, a short track known for chaos. Tight corners, high speeds, and 40 cars crammed into a half-mile bowl. It's one of the most physical races of the year. Even veterans crash out. For a rookie still learning the nuances of oval racing, it's the ultimate test. So how can SVG survive? For one, his team, Trackhouse Racing, believes in him. They didn't just give him a 1-year deal and hope for the best. They signed him to a multi-year extension before the playoffs began. That's not a bet on potential. That's a belief in what he's already shown. Internally, they say he's closing the gap quickly on ovals. Ross Chastain, his teammate, recently said SVG's pace is getting scary good. If the cars are fast, Ross expects Shane to be in the mix. Then there's the playoff format itself. This isn't a winner-takes-all system. It's a war of attrition. Stage points, pit strategy, and survival matter just as much as raw speed. SVG doesn't need to win these 3 races. He just needs to avoid disaster, be smart, let others make mistakes, collect points where he can. His 16-point buffer gives him a little breathing room, enough to be strategic, not desperate. And that's where SVG might surprise everyone, because while he's a rookie in NASCAR, he's no stranger to pressure. In supercars, he raced in packed grids, tight corners, and under massive scrutiny. He's had to adapt his driving style across continents, time zones, and vehicle types. He even credited F1 champion Max Verstappen for helping him prepare for his historic win in Mexico. That kind of focus, the ability to take advice, apply it quickly, and stay humble, has been SVG's secret weapon all season. And then there's the fans. In just one season, SVG has built a following unlike any other rookie in recent memory. He's brought international eyes to NASCAR. Fans from New Zealand, Australia, and across Europe are tuning in. And his driving style? It's aggressive, clean, and thrilling to watch. He's earned respect from drivers, crew chiefs, and commentators alike. Even if he flames out early in the playoffs, no one's writing him off. In fact, many believe this is just the beginning. Whether he advances or not, SVG is already a lock for Rookie of the Year. He's shown that road course drivers can compete in NASCAR. That talent travels. And more importantly, he's forced the Cup Series to take a long look at how it evaluates success. SVG didn't climb through the traditional ranks. He didn't spend years in Xfinity or trucks. He came in as an outsider and made the insiders nervous. And that might be his greatest legacy. He's changing the narrative around what a NASCAR driver looks like, where they come from, and how quickly they can make an impact. He's pushing the sport to evolve. And in doing so, he's inspiring a whole new generation of racers and fans. So, what happens next? Will SVG shock the world and make a deep playoff run? Will he defy the odds and outlast veterans on tracks he barely knows? Or will he stumble, fall short, and use the experience to come back even stronger next year? Whatever happens, one thing's certain. Shane Van Gisbergen didn't come here to blend in. He came to win. He came to grow. And most importantly, he came to challenge the system on every kind of track against every kind of driver. The road ahead is tough. But if there's one thing SVG's shown us this year, it's that he's built for the fight. And in the NASCAR playoffs, that's exactly what it takes.
Such an important night for Alex Bowman. He's down on the low line, and he's being pushed by his teammate, the 5 of Kyle Larson. It's Blaney up on the high side. But it's Blaney who gets it done and continues his amazing run of late. And that keeps Alex Bowman in the playoffs.
Alex Bowman's NASCAR season was hanging by a thread. He crashed early at Daytona, helplessly watching the race unfold from the sidelines. Just when it seemed his playoff hopes were slipping away, Ryan Blaney shot from 13th to 1st in a heart-stopping finish, saving Bowman's season. Fans couldn't believe it. Bowman now owes Blaney millions of beers, and the drama is far from over. Daytona Beach, Florida. The NASCAR Cup Series never disappoints when it comes to drama, and the recent Daytona race was a perfect example. Alex Bowman, a top driver for Hendrick Motorsports, saw his playoff dreams teeter on the edge. He started the Coke Zero Sugar 400 in a strong position, but within the first 30 laps, his car was destroyed in a massive 12-car crash. For the rest of the race, Bowman could do nothing but watch nervously from the hauler, hoping for the right outcome. Earlier in the season, Bowman had faced several setbacks, but none were as tense as the regular season finale at Daytona. With only 16 spots in the playoffs, every point and every win mattered. Before the race, 14 drivers had already secured playoff positions by winning at least once this year. That left the top 2 winless drivers, Tyler Reddick and Bowman, fighting for the remaining slots. For Bowman, this meant every move by other drivers could make or break his season. The tension in his hauler was palpable as the race unfolded on the 2.5-mile track. The crash that sidelined Bowman was chaotic. Bubba Wallace's Toyota came across Joey Logano's Ford, hitting Kyle Busch's Chevrolet and creating a domino effect that destroyed Bowman's car. He admitted afterward that there was no way he could have avoided the accident. From where we were, there just really wasn't any way to get around it, he said. The crash forced him to sit and watch for hours as the race continued without him, powerless to affect the outcome. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick, the other playoff contender, faced his own challenges. A collision with Todd Gilliland early in the race damaged his car, and he struggled to stay competitive. Despite these setbacks, both drivers knew that a new winner could change everything. If someone outside the current playoff group won, it would shake up the points and force one of the bubble drivers out. Bowman's only hope was for a winless driver like himself to remain in contention, or for a new winner to emerge in a way that would keep him in the playoffs. That hope came in the form of Ryan Blaney. Blaney, driving for Ford, had been competitive throughout the race, but his big moment came in the final laps. Starting from the 13th, he used drafting strategies and teamwork with Cole Custer to move through the pack. By the final 2 laps, he had taken the lead, narrowly edging out Daniel Suarez by 0.0131 seconds to win the race. This victory was Blaney's second of the season and his 15th career win. But more importantly, it saved Bowman's playoff hopes by inches. Bowman's reaction was a mix of relief and humor. "I owe him 7 million beers," he joked about Blaney's unexpected role in keeping him in the playoffs. Blaney, in turn, offered to settle for 5 million. The lighthearted comments masked the stress Bowman felt in the hauler, pacing nervously and hoping the right outcome would occur. "It has been such a stressful string of races," he admitted. The drama at Daytona highlighted several key aspects of NASCAR racing. First, the unpredictability of superspeedway racing can make or break seasons. Crashes, drafting partnerships, and split-second decisions have a huge impact, as seen in the final laps when Blaney and Custer teamed up to overtake the leaders. Second, the playoff system means that every race matters, and even drivers who are out of contention for the win can influence who advances. Third, the mental challenge for drivers like Bowman is immense, having to watch from the sidelines while their future hangs in the balance. Blaney's win also had broader implications for the NASCAR standings. He finished the regular season as the 2nd seed, ensuring a strong position heading into the playoffs. Bowman, despite finishing 36th in the race, secured the 16th seed, while Tyler Reddick ended up 14th. These positions set the stage for the upcoming playoff battles, which begin over Labor Day weekend at Darlington, South Carolina. The playoffs will test every driver's skill, strategy, and resilience under pressure. In addition to the Cup Series drama, Daytona also showcased the performance of Xfinity Series drivers and up-and-coming talent. Connor Zilisch, who had been impressive in the Xfinity Series, is set to move up to the Cup Series next season with Trackhouse Racing. His progression reflects NASCAR's emphasis on developing young talent and the importance of seizing opportunities when they arise. Zilisch's move to Cup will make him a driver to watch in 2026 as he joins seasoned competitors like Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen. While Daytona offered relief for Bowman, it also exposed vulnerabilities for other drivers and teams. RFK Racing, for example, hoped to get at least one of its 3 drivers into the playoffs, but none made it. Brad Keselowski, Ryan Preece, and Chris Buescher all fell short despite strong performances earlier in the season. Preece led briefly but got shuffled back, finishing 14th, while Buescher finished 7th after losing track position late in the race. These results highlight the fine line between success and disappointment in NASCAR. For Bowman, the upcoming race represents a chance to build momentum after his near miss at Daytona. While he survived the regular season finale by the narrowest of margins, his team will aim to capitalize on this second chance. Bowman's goal is clear: move past survival mode and compete for stage points, wins, and playoff security. The story of Daytona this year underscores the broader themes of NASCAR: resilience, strategy, teamwork, and chance. Every race becomes a chess match, with each move affecting the standings and playoff outcomes. Fans are also drawn to the human drama. Bowman's emotional journey, from the crash to the relief of making the playoffs, mirrors the highs and lows experienced by drivers across the series. Reddick's early mistake and its consequences show how quickly fortunes can change, even for the most experienced drivers, and Blaney's daring last-lap pass captures the thrill of racing at its best, a moment that will be remembered for years. In conclusion, the recent Daytona race will be remembered for its drama, surprises, and pivotal moments. Alex Bowman's playoff survival, courtesy of Ryan Blaney's last-lap heroics, epitomizes the tension and unpredictability of NASCAR. NASCAR's Daytona races never fail to deliver stories of courage, teamwork, and unexpected twists. Bowman's season may have been saved by a single victory.
He was running that third, fourth lane. Shane Van Gisbergen, least oval experience of anyone in the field, was out there creating his own custom lane that was working for him. Good stuff from Shane Van.
Shane Van Gisbergen has turned NASCAR upside down. A rookie from New Zealand driving for Trackhouse Racing has already won 4 races in his first season. Fans can't believe it. Rivals don't know how to stop it. From dominating road courses to figuring out America's toughest ovals, SVG is changing what it means to be a rookie, and his playoff run could shake the whole sport. Shane Van Gisbergen didn't grow up dreaming of Daytona or Talladega. He built his name racing in Australia and New Zealand, winning 3 Supercars championships and becoming one of the best road course racers in the world. When he shocked everyone by winning the 2023 Chicago Street Race in his very first NASCAR Cup start, people started to pay attention. By 2024, he ran a part-time schedule with Cowlick Racing. Even with only 12 starts, he proved he was no ordinary rookie, finishing runner-up at Watkins Glen. That season was just a taste of what was coming. Now in 2025, SVG is with Trackhouse Racing full-time, and the results speak for themselves. 4 wins, 22 playoff points, and a guaranteed spot in the postseason. He's not just the new guy anymore, he's a threat to win the championship. SVG himself has explained why this season feels smoother than last year. My comfort in the Cup car this year is a lot higher than in 2024, he said. Building up throughout the year has been crucial. Last year we had a month-long gap between races. Now I'm driving the same car week in and week out with the same crew. That makes a huge difference. That kind of consistency has allowed SVG to adapt faster than most rookies ever could. Instead of starting fresh every weekend, he's working with the same mechanics, the same engineers, and the same crew chief. It shows in the way he drives. Confident, precise, and fearless. For SVG, it's no longer about surviving, it's about winning races, and the results prove it. Every rookie dreams of winning once. Shane has already won 4 times in just one season. 3 of those came on road courses where his supercar's background gave him an edge. He proved unbeatable at places like Watkins Glen, where he said after his win, "That was fun. A good recovery and great result in my first Cup start at Richmond. Tire strategy was huge tonight, and my number 88 team did an awesome job executing." But perhaps the bigger surprise has been how competitive he's become on ovals. At Richmond, he fought his way from 27th on the grid into the top 15, finishing 14th, matching his career best oval result. For a driver who's still learning NASCAR's short tracks, that's a big step forward. With every race, SVG isn't just collecting trophies, he's showing that he can adapt to any challenge. That's why the garage is buzzing about him heading into the playoffs. For all his success, SVG admits short tracks are still his toughest test. Places like Bristol, Martinsville, and Richmond demand patience, tire management, and a different driving style than the flowing road courses he grew up on. "I feel the most competitive and comfortable there," he said about short tracks. "My lap times and speed are solid in parts of the race. I just need to piece everything together." At Martinsville in 2024, he flashed potential with a strong run, but he admits most of his short track results have been frustrating. Still, his honesty shows his determination. He doesn't hide from challenges, he studies them. With 22 playoff points already in the bank, he'll start the postseason in a strong position. For a rookie, that's almost unheard of. When SVG first arrived, some drivers weren't thrilled about an outsider coming in and stealing headlines, but his talent has made it impossible to ignore him. Even veterans are impressed by how quickly he's adapted. His humble approach has earned him respect. He doesn't act like he knows everything, but he also doesn't back down. When he gets on track, he races hard, sometimes too hard for the liking of rivals like Alex Bowman, who recently clashed with him in lap traffic. Love him or hate him, everyone agrees. SVG is here to stay. And when he talks about his struggles, he speaks like a driver who knows the future is bright. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every tough race becomes fuel for the next one. That's why fans believe this rookie isn't just having a lucky season, he's building a foundation for greatness. Behind every great driver is a great team, and Trackhouse Racing has been the perfect home for SVG. Justin Marks and Pitbull built the organization with an eye toward the future, bringing in fresh ideas and bold talent. SVG's crew has given him fast cars and smart strategy, like the tire call that helped him storm through the field at Watkins Glen. He trusts his team completely, and they trust him to push the car to its limits. Trackhouse has also let him be himself. Whether he's experimenting with new driving styles or borrowing tips from veterans, they've given him freedom to grow.